This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to this mildly amusing, hastily thrown together, poorly executed podcast. We should clarify after the intro voiceover, we aren't actually Australia's only Formula One podcast, but we are Australia's only Formula One podcast worth listening to. If you're looking for technical Formula One analysis, inside info from the teams, or the opinions of seasoned F1 experts, you're in the wrong place. But if you're after a podcast that doesn't alienate the little guy, a podcast that lifts up the forgotten, the downtrodden, the dismissed, the overlooked, the underachiever, then you've come to the right place. This is the Little Aussie Battlers podcast that doesn't care where you're from, how much money you make, or what you're wearing. So, grab a drink, loosen up your belt, sit down, and shut the hell up! Because two slightly overweight Aussie middle-aged blokes like you and me are here live podcasting! I'm sorry. Oh, I couldn't put my words together really.
And we're here to talk about Formula One.
Formula One! How you going, Luke?
Good, mate. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty excited.
Welcome back.
I'm very excited. Luke, that last week was like, it was like a professional athlete dusting off the cobwebs and getting back into it.
Yeah. We needed to stretch a bit, warm the muscles up. We're here. We're back. Second week.
Live from
in the fifth season of the Effing One podcast.
Fifth season.
Yeah.
And we've got it's taken 5 seasons to get into this this vault.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Soundproofed booth.
If the Armageddon strikes today, no point recording this podcast because no one will listen to it.
We are fine.
We're fine.
We'll have no audience, but that's not going to
We'll be talking to as many people as we want because there won't be. It'll just be you and me.
Right. And looking at our listening audience, it's not going to matter much because that's pretty much just you and me.
It won't dip.
No. It's pretty much bang on.
It's a solid and safe plateau.
It is. There is... I have to ask, Luke, you've been stuck to the sofa the last 3 days of testing?
Yeah, 3 long nights.
You were in this bunker the entire time.
Yep.
Punching the numbers.
I occasionally checked in on you to make sure you were sleeping okay.
Yep.
I could hear you snoring from the other side.
Could you? Yeah. I'm a loud snorer, Luke.
Yep.
Very loud.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Did you enjoy it?
As much as you can enjoy testing, there was a lot of plagiarism going around. A lot of plagiarism. And, I think you would have found on social media that I posted on the old Instagram that when it came to, Valtteri Bottas brought out his new helmet. He's got a black helmet and it looks really nice. I'm like, looks perfect. Your next helmet should be your mullet.
Yes.
And then he's bought a testing helmet.
Yeah.
Guess what the testing helmet is?
Mullet.
A mullet.
Yes.
A fucking mullet. A mullet that I suggested. Another idea stolen from the Effing One podcast.
Indeed.
Also, another bit of plagiarism from the bigwigs of Formula One broadcasting.
Yes.
I'd gone downstairs, made dinner, came back up, and what I heard, I was glad I was there when I heard it.
Yeah.
Because it is...
the worst form of plagiarism you could ever find.
You can steal, if you're a chain-smoking fat litterbug, I don't need to name names, but it rhymes with lofty.
Yeah.
Who was the little midget driver? Mercedes.
Fisichella.
Well, they're all midgets, really.
Massa.
They're all tiny, tiny men. But when it comes to our little podcast, we don't have much.
No.
We don't have a great listenership. But when someone steals their idea of reverse parking challenge, now these two people who was like, we should get Ted Kravitz, had no part of it.
No.
They just name dropped Ted Kravitz. So I think you might know who we're talking about. They said that there should be a reverse parking challenge, and they were the first people to think of it. That the driver should be involved.
Is that what they said?
Yep.
They said we're the first people.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I'm going to play it right now.
Oh, really?
So you can
Who
hear
were
them.
the first people, Luke? Can you take us back in time? Let's jump in our TARDIS, DeLorean, if you will.
There's even
Take us
tweets when we're like, select which one.
Didn't they respond to it? Didn't Crofty say, great idea, back
No,
3 years ago?
No, he's like, you know what? I'm going to hold on to that.
Yeah,
And I'm going to bring it out a little bit later. So in our first season, we thought of the reverse parking challenge.
Yes, we did.
And then you got to ask Sir Daniel Ricciardo,
Yes.
which I'm sure he'll get knighted at some
That's
point. It's just a matter
We
of
asked
time.
him in the paddock in Melbourne.
You asked him.
I asked him.
I was outside going,
You weren't allowed in.
ask him the question
And I
about
said,
the reverse
"Shh."
parking.
I said, shut up, Luke.
Sorry, Mum.
You're not in the paddock.
Mm.
I'll ask the questions here.
So, they said, that's a great idea. And Ann Davison goes, well, sorry, I just mentioned his name. Ann Davison said, you heard it here first.
The reverse parking.
And he said,
Unbelievable.
the words were reverse parking challenge,
No.
which was,
Exactly. Play the tape.
Should
Roll
we
the
before we
tape.
drive? Who's the best at reverse parking?
Reverse-
in a road car?
yes.
Reverse
Let's
parking
make it happen.
challenge.
Let's
Ted
make it
Travis.
happen. You heard it here first.
It's TV gold. Who do you reckon would be the best at reverse parking?
See this?
Reverse parking challenge for bonus points.
Definitely not. Race car drivers can't park.
See? Now, if that isn't proof enough, shove that up your arse, Sky. Sky Sports.
you fucking lofty,
You
chain-smoking, fat litterbug.
Plagiaristic
Not difficult to find out who that is.
bastards. Just because we
You
don't
might-
have the listenership that they do.
No.
Doesn't mean you can't just listen to podcasts like this and steal our ideas and not give us any credit.
What have we done for Formula One? We said we should bring in ground effects cars.
Yes.
What have they got now?
Ground effects cars.
Did the overtaking increase? Yes.
Yes.
Was it closer racing through fast corners? Yes.
Yes, Luke.
You didn't know you were up in the Alps.
No.
Or the Pyrenees,
No,
wherever
I
you
didn't
were.
know. I didn't know.
But now you've come back, you've had a review of last year, you would have
Yes.
seen there was a lot more overtaking, a lot more racing.
Yes.
And thanks to the ground effects cars, and next 2 years, tyre warmers are going to be gone. Lewis Hamilton has complained about that. No surprises there.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I don't see a point of it.
No.
No, it's to make it more difficult for
Right.
you. That's the point. He goes, oh, but people are going to crash. I'm like,
Yes.
well, don't push the tyres hard until it gets hot.
Right.
That's the point. Maybe he struggled in junior categories with warming up of tyres, but everyone's going to have to do it.
Mm.
It won't be just you.
No.
It's every single person. So you're going to have to drive the conditions. IndyCar can do it.
Yes.
Every other
Yes.
racing series can do it without it. V8
Correct.
Supercars does
So,
it.
what is Sky Sports and Crofty and whatnot? What are they going to steal from FM1 Podcast next?
Who knows?
Let me guess. Will it be the shopping bag challenge, Luke?
The great shopping bag
The
challenge.
great shopping bag
Where
challenge.
you have shopping bags of different appendages around the car.
Correct.
And then you do a lap, and if you have any broken eggs or spilt milk,
Correct.
you get point deductions.
Every cracked egg that you on the lap, you get minus a second.
Yep. Lewis Hamilton will have fake eggs because he's
Right.
vegan.
Right. But what else after that will they take away from FM1 Podcast? Will it be the native dish eaten on the lap of the driver while they're doing the qualifying lap?
And you know what? Come the Melbourne Grand Prix, that's what I'm going to do. For Luke's lap, I'm going to eat
Yes.
while driving
Souvlaki.
the lap for Luke's lap.
Yep.
So I'm going to have a meat pie for the Australian Grand Prix,
Yes, you are. That is the native dish of Australia.
and that's where it's going to start. So we've got a Luke's lap tonight. You'll see it a little bit later, but
Yep. Don't tell Crofty because
they'll steal that too.
They will steal that.
I'll have Crofty's lap.
And they'll say, this is the first you've ever heard this, guys.
Yep. Lies.
Absolute BS.
Anyway, we'll get into testing. We'll wrap that up. We've got a little bit of news.
Oh, good.
Stroll has been taking cycling tips from Joe Biden.
Oh, good.
So he
That's going to help.
a great little. He's missed complete testing.
Yep.
I just read on F1.com that he's expected to drive.
No, he's not.
I heard broken wrists, even fractured wrists. Is
He's not going to drive.
the news has come in? I'd sent a message to Ryan Briscoe.
Yeah.
Ryan Briscoe's an ex Toyota Formula One test driver. He was an IndyCar driver. He's won races. He's got pole at the Indy 500 before. He's a very, very good driver. One of the nicest people you will ever meet. If you ever get a chance, you bump into him, you have a chat. He is genuine. He is nice. He's not stuck up. He doesn't have an ego. And he answered my request. I'm like, you've had broken wrist.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? How long did it take you for you to come back? And he's like, I had to have surgery.
Yep.
And it was 3 to 4 weeks with a custom brace
Jeez.
and pain meds.
There you go.
And to get me back in the car. So it didn't happen. It was about a week and a half.
It can't.
I don't
It's
know.
not going to happen.
I think he'll get in there and realize, like Formula 1 cars are easy to drive. Robert Kubica can do it with one hand. Lance Stroll's disabled enough as it is.
Have they not announced that he wouldn't be driving? Didn't they announce last week that he wouldn't be driving?
They said Dragovic will come in.
Right. Well, that's it then.
If he can't drive.
If. Oh, okay.
So they're going to chuck him in
Yeah.
and see how he goes.
Yeah.
And he's going to come out crying and go, I'm going to hand it over to Felipe Dragovic.
Yes, drug the bitch.
So that's what's going to happen. I still think Felipe will step into the car. He'll make his debut after winning the Formula 2 season last year. Tyres this year. So qualifying tyres, they have to qualify each Q1, Q2, Q3 in different sets of tyres. You can't use softs for the first session or second session. You can only use it in Q3. So Q1 will have the hards, Q2 will have the mediums, and Q3 will have the softs.
Right.
That
is exciting.
Is the new rule change for this year. I do believe...
I like that. That's good.
I like that as well. They're using it. It's going to be a little bit difficult.
Different cars are going to do better on different tyres. That makes a nice difference.
Yeah. When it comes to 3 days of testing, is probably not enough. They've got all their team there. They've got teams ready. They're going to race in Bahrain the week after, which are this weekend. I don't understand why they can't test both cars.
No.
They've got 2 cars sitting there. They've got the personnel to do it. Get the job done. Get as many laps as possible. More cars on track. Better for broadcast. If a car goes down, they have the second car to keep going. Or even run a second car if the first car breaks down.
Yes.
I don't see when a team has an issue that, boom, they're out for half the day. They're losing the 3 possible... Like, they used to test 50 days when Briscoe was going around because Toyota chucked $500 million at it. And let's go try and fix the car. Test. Now, 3 days.
3. It's not much.
It's not a lot.
What was it last year? 5 days last year?
Yeah, they had some at Barcelona, then they had some at Bahrain, and then they went
And the year before that, it felt like it was 2 weeks.
Oh, it was that.
It's just getting shorter and shorter.
The year before that, it was... we test, and then we went to Melbourne, and it was cancelled.
Yeah.
And talking of... I just want to do a quick roundup. Fastest lap times for preseason testing. We've got Red Bull ahead of Mercedes Alfa Romeo, Ferrari Alfa Tauri, Haas, Aston Martin, McLaren, Williams, Alpine.
Is that what you're thinking for the order of the grid?
It can't be.
You can't imagine Alfa Romeo is up that high. I mean,
Can't
Red
imagine
Bull
Alfa
race.
Tauri being on.
And were some holding back? Were some showing
Of course.
everything?
There's going to be, people holding the handbrake down. They put a lot of weight, a lot of fuel in the car.
Because Alpine is a lot better than that, than last.
There's rumours of what's going around is Aston Martin is the team to look out for this year.
Yes.
Alonso's been very quiet. When the car's a piece of shit, we all know that he is...
Very noisy. He's a noisy...
When things aren't going well, he'll voice it. He's been very quiet, very reserved. So I predict big things from Aston Martin. I even predict...
Yes.
You'll hear it later.
Oh, I love it.
We've got Haas have done all right, McLaren, but in terms of fast lap was a 1:30.305, and the slowest was Alpine with a 1:32.76. No surprises from a French team.
And what chance does anyone have against Red Bull this year? Buckley's and none?
It's tough.
I can't see anyone getting near them.
They have a big step from last year.
Yeah.
They're so far ahead of everyone. Mercedes did catch them towards the end. Ferrari have said they've worked out some things with their engine because they were low on power.
Yep.
Especially in the high speed. They said they've also made it a little bit slicker, which will mean different for tyre degradation, but they should be faster in a straight line because they've made the car slipperier through the air.
Right.
Biggest most time gained, so this is between Bahrain last year test and Bahrain test this year. Williams has made up the most time.
Really?
They've taken 2.37 seconds off.
They could afford to. They were right at the back.
Yep.
But that's good. That's a good step for them.
Aston Martin 2.37 as well.
Positive.
Alfa Romeo 2.1, Mercedes 2. Mercedes didn't have a great preseason last year. They realised their car was struggling. Alfa Tauri 1.7, Red Bull Racing 1.4, 1.3 for Ferrari, So they're suggesting the Ferrari might be a quarter of a second. Early on the sessions, they were saying it might be half a second between them and Red Bull.
Right.
But they have taken a couple tenths off, apparently, with some setup changes. McLaren, 1.01 seconds quicker. Haas, 0.8. Alpine, 0.06. Just a slight improvement on the previous year. Maybe that's because Alonso not the car.
Yeah.
But according to it, it is actually a positive. So there, it actually says a positive. So they've actually gone slower.
Yes.
So that might mean high fuel, different runs,
Yep.
turn the engine down.
Yep.
So
So
show
the
our
biggest
hands.
improver of the field, in your mind, Aston Martin,
Yes.
most likely to make a jump from the midfield, lower midfield they were,
Yep.
up to the potentially top three in that category.
Yep.
Maybe in the top four, a little groupage in the top four.
I would like that. I think they'd be nipping at the heels of Mercedes or Ferrari.
Biggest disappointment? McLaren.
McLaren have come out and they've said that they have they've launched a car, and then before they've hit the track, they've gone, we can't develop this
Oh, no.
to a quicker car. So they've gone, we're not going to develop it. We're going to pretty much have like a different spec, different way to go forward. I'm like, that's a lot of money
Wow.
to launch a car and go, we're going to race this, but we're not going to wait
Shit.
till a later on Grand Prix. Baku, which is, I think, race 4. Then you'll have...
So the car they're going to be bringing in at Bahrain is not going to be the latest version. The new car's coming in, what, 3 or 4 or 5 races down the track?
They've realised that they can't...
What have they done, Luke?
They've-
They've screwed up.
Yeah, but great that Daniel's not driving for him. And
Thank
he's
God. Well,
got
we-
himself $20 million in his pocket.
But
and
we
he's
got
just
little
sitting
Piastri.
there. I know.
We love Piastri on F1 podcast.
We do.
We do. He's the new Dan.
He is the
And
new...
I
Dan.
can't stop thinking that he should have, gone to Alpine as
He
much
sh-
as they were a bunch
funny,
of douchebags.
If you've watched Drive to Survive, it's pretty much the shittest season I've seen so far in Drive to Survive. But
I've heard very little about it this year. There's been no publicity I've not seen anything about it. No advertising at all.
Yep, so...
I need to see it.
3 episodes are about Silverstone.
What? 3.
Yep, so they covered the Guan Yu Zhou crash. They covered sort of 3 things over that one weekend, but they spread it over 3 episodes.
Why, Luke? It
I don't
seems
know.
like it's been going down ever since the first season, which was top notch.
But like even the footage wasn't as good. Like normally they bring a step up in terms of what they don't broadcast.
Yeah.
And this is what's kind of led me to take my TAFE course and to learn a little bit more about video editing and the movie world.
Yeah.
To be able to produce something like this.
Well, you're seeing what shouldn't be done, Luke. You're learning. You know exactly what they should be
There's
doing.
mistake. That's what this podcast is about.
What Netflix needs is Luke from F1 Podcast calling the shots.
I'm right here, Box to Box Films.
Yes.
They're an Australian company
right,
too.
Right here. They need Luke. You need Luke on board
I think
with
they spent,
Netflix.
They spent too much time doing that golf documentary they did on Netflix.
Yeah.
So
Ridiculous.
Red Bull pros: Max, Newey, evolving and championship-winning car, easy peasy. Cons: Christian Horner. He's the whiniest bitch that's ever been.
Isn't he?
Mind you, Toto
Pathetic.
Wolff was a bit of a bitch as well.
Yeah,
when
but-
he was having bouncing in the car, he's gone into the big.
Yes.
He's gone into a meeting, which is on the Netflix series. He's going to a meeting, and all the things there, and he's like, "No, we need to fix this." And like, yeah. And Christian Horner rightly said, "Well, if you've got a problem with your car, just fucking fix it.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that we need to change all of our cars because you can't fix your bouncing because they had the terrible porpoising last year." And he's 100% right. If your car's not safe enough, you need to change it. You might need to lift the ride height. It's fucked for your performance, but you made that car.
Right.
Lewis Hamilton did come out last year and say, our team doesn't make mistakes.
I made a lot of mistakes. But, Christian Horner, he's a little guy.
Yeah.
So I'm less forgiving for little... Wolf, Toto, giant of a man.
Giant of a man.
He's good. I mean, who can't love... Everyone loves Toto. Doesn't matter what he says.
I love Toto. Ferrari, the chosen one, the pros, chosen one, mini Fonz, and Fred Vasseur. They have a new strategist as well because some of the strategies last year
Oh, really?
were, fucked someone over.
Yeah, pretty terrible.
They were horrible.
They can't get any worse with
Whenever
strategy.
Whenever there's a safety car, if you're in the lead of a race, I'd say pit.
Yeah.
I don't know if they haven't learned anything from Abu Dhabi and what happened with Lewis Hamilton.
What are
pit.
they doing?
You're going to have fresh tyres. If you lose track position, you got fresh tyres.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're going to overtake him. You can
Yes.
overtake him at Silverstone. You can overtake him many places.
Correct.
You're going to get your race. Also, Drive So I did talk about George Russell's win. They talked about it for about 45 seconds. That was about it.
Right.
Not the battle that he had with Max during the whole race, which is a great battle.
No.
Pretty much. And that was also where Magnussen got his pole position.
Yeah. What? They didn't mention that.
No. Or they snippered it, but like that was one of the best moments.
It's almost
of the
like
year.
they're not covering what's actually happening. They've got this preconceived idea of what they want to, the storyline is going to be before they film it. It's like, okay, here's our storyline for this race.
The majority of the storylines were based on the team principles.
That's kind of dull. Did Dan feature?
Bits towards the end.
Was he
Sebastian
unhappy?
was
No Sebastian.
hardly any Sebastian.
Wow.
And he was retiring. He's
No
a
Max.
four-time world
But
champion.
that's okay.
They had Max.
No, they didn't.
Max sat in the chair.
He did not.
He interviewed. This is the first
He
time he's done it in a couple of
refuses,
years.
doesn't he?
No, he came back. And they had.
I'm going to headbutt him again.
They probably had 2 conversations with him.
Really?
But they had more conversations with him than they did with Sebastian. And
Unbelievable.
Sebastian, he's a 4-time world champion. He's leaving the sport. He leaves a legacy. The finger boy. He left, and they didn't want to talk about it. You're missing the ball.
Yeah.
You're focusing so much on the nitty-gritty politics and backstabbing bitch talking.
Yeah.
Formula One fans don't care about bitching. This isn't the Desperate Housewives. This isn't the Kardashians. This is Formula One. This is the sport.
Correct.
You want to see the visual spectacle of Formula One.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. They've lost their way.
Yep.
Netflix, you've lost your way.
Ferrari, cons. They're not German.
They're Italians.
Yeah.
As much as we love the Italian.
Initially,
As much as we love Italy. We love Italy. We love pasta. We love coffee. We love speaking with your hands.
Pizza.
But they should never be anywhere near a Formula One race car. Because you can't... I'm sorry, the days of driving on just sheer passion is over.
They make it look pretty.
It's passionate.
See, when I bake a
But
cake...
it's not meticulous. You've got to be meticulous.
But it looks horrible.
Correct.
Where the opposite, Ferrari would make a very great-looking
Delicious.
cake.
Yes.
But it would be horrible
to taste.
They'd be using salt instead of sugar. It's terrible.
They're absolutely shocking.
That's why they don't put pineapple on pizza, because they're fucking idiots.
And they haven't also opened a pastry store. Thank God. I'm never going to a Ferrari pastry store.
Oh,
horrible.
Salty. Taste of horse.
Disgusting.
Mercedes, they have got their car pointing in the right direction towards the end of last year, so this should be a good evolution going forward. Russell and Hamilton get the most out of the package. The cons, Hamilton is still vegan. It could be, if he eats some meat, he might, maybe if he goes to Pete's Meat, Producer Pete. He's got his own...
Just on the other side of the...
Other side of the
highway. Vault, just over here, like the door. The door just to right-hand side, your left. Pete's over there,
twisting the knobs,
just making sure everything sounds tip-top in top condition.
Yep.
Well done, Pete.
Pete's got his own meat company. Nobody beats Pete's Meat.
Oh, quite like Pete. No one can beat Pete's Meat like Pete can beat me.
Alpine, listen, they're French.
Well, does anyone care?
They have Jack Doohan.
Are they sandbagging and testing? They didn't show much.
They said there's a bit of a spring in their step. They seem confident, but that is the French.
They would have accidentally... This would have happened by accident, you feel. That's what I feel like with the French team. They accidentally got a good car.
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
Like, whoops.
Yeah. Oh, hello, look what we have.
This car is a little bit quicker.
Not so shit.
Yeah.
We have 2 shitty French drivers, but the car not so shit.
Give this to French Dick and Gasman and...
Good luck, fellas.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
But they oozing of confidence, someone has said. Maybe it's garlic, but I don't think it's confidence. Cons, they're French, very French. Remember, Gasman has 10 penalty points as well.
Carries over.
Yeah. So it carries over and it goes by year, so I don't know when it'll start taking off. Yep. But if he gets 2 more points, I think it is, he will miss a race, which means Jack will get...
Doohan, get him in there. Little Jackie Doohan. Yeah, he's a great driver. He's going to win Formula 2 this year. Luke, lock that in.
Lock it in. We've got 2 Australians in Formula 3 as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about them very shortly towards the end. McLaren.
Yes.
Driver's good.
Great driving
Norris
lineup.
is a great driver. Piastri is, he's a savant.
He is. He's an absolute genius.
Yeah.
Never has Formula One.
He probably has an extra chromosome.
Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly an extra chromosome. Possibly an extra arm.
Oscar syndrome, we'll call it.
Yes. He is the talent. He is the born. He's the chosen one.
He is.
He is the chosen one.
I'm like, he's won 3 championships back to back to back.
No one has ever done that, Luke.
Formula Renault, F3, F2.
Never been done before.
No.
There should be no doubt about his abilities. And it's an absolute joke that he had to sit a year out at Alpine. When has you got... How many drivers just waltz in with money? Money backed. They just waltz on in, never deserved anything.
You think of crimes against humanity.
Right.
You think of
what does
the
a driver
Nazis?
have to do? We'll go back to the Nazis because we love talking about Nazis. But what does a driver need to do,
It needs
Luke,
to be a little bit higher.
to go straight into Formula One as a rookie? Do you have to win 4 in a row? No one's won 3 in a row. Piastri does. Can't get a drive straight up.
Yep.
What do you need to do?
Well, he needs a better fucking car. That's what he needs to
Probably
do.
needs to know a Nazi.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of
you had a
which.
lovely story about Nazis.
No, it's just more about crimes against humanity.
Oh, yes.
And, giving Piastri a dog
Which
shit
is
car.
which is more horrible?
Yeah, giving Piastri a shit car.
Or the Nazis.
Terrible.
Both terrible.
They're on the same level.
Well, maybe not quite the same, Luke. Not millions of people died in this Piastri decision.
I stand corrected. But I'll give one thing. Piastri did stand up for himself.
Yes, he did.
Did the right thing.
Did the right thing.
I think he was painted badly. But if you look at... If Alonso stayed at Alpine, Piastri doesn't have a drive this year.
No.
They probably would have tried to chuck him into Williams or something.
Yes.
So they didn't... Then they said, we wanted him. No. You didn't want him.
No, you didn't.
You wanted Alonso.
Correct. He was your last resort.
Alonso would have stayed, but he wanted a 2-year deal.
Yes.
But they gave him a 1-year deal, and he's like, no, I want 2 years, or I'm out.
And a guy that's just won 3 championships in a row is not your backup plan.
No.
Sorry.
No.
He doesn't get to be your backup plan.
No. So they dropped the ball big time there. Red Bull also dropped the ball. Apparently, Red Bull was saying they were looking at Oscar to sign him up, but they missed. They dropped the ball. Imagine Oscar in the Red Bull team now.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
Because he would have been in AlphaTauri last year.
Yep. Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yep. He would be wiping the floor with Max.
Yeah.
Just quietly.
He'd be stepping
Absolutely.
up. So McLaren is a dog shit car. They don't have Andreas Seidel this year, and after making the car, they've realised they've gone the wrong path. Expect a big upgrade towards Baku, which is race 4. Alfa Romeo, the hottest, sexiest looking car. Honorary Bogan Bottas. He's in the car. He's looking fresh. He's looking great with the mullet.
Very good.
A lot of extra weight in the car with that mullet, though. Zhou did a fast lap. I think he did the 3rd fastest lap of the weekend, but he did it on very soft tyres. Andre Seidel, who went from McLaren, is there, so that's but he's also focusing on Audi.
Yes.
Audi's coming in 2026, so he's focusing on that. Aston Martin.
So Haas will become Sauber,
No.
and then from Sauber, Audi.
Alfa Romeo will be
Alfa Romeo will be
because they're still
Audi.
owned by Sauber.
Okay,
by
gotcha.
Sauber. Yeah.
Right.
Aston Martin, Alonso. They've got a lot of money. They got new signings. Red Bull are racing and Merck. They stole some engineers from them to increase their stock of knowledge and have some smart people who were there. Now they're at Aston Martin. I think that's why Alonso went there. With a lot of money, new facilities, new wind tunnel. The cons are Stroll and no Vettel.
Well, you've got a pretty weak driver in Stroll. You've got Alonso.
He's got weak wrists now.
Very weak. So
He's got paper wrists.
what happens, if they start threatening and looking really strong coming into next year even, they've got to get rid of Stroll. If they want to, he's going to be the problem, the reason they won't be up, in the next category, why they wouldn't be 3rd or 4th. If they're going to be in 5th, they're going to miss out on a spot.
That's it, 100%. And Lawrence has come out on that Drive to Survive, and he's come out and he said that, we want to win. And we want to be in a position to win, and we want to do everything we can to
He
win.
needs to stay on the bench.
And you might need to bench your little son there.
Yeah.
Or, bring back Vettel, or,
Oh, imagine Vettel and Alonso.
Oh, bring that back.
Vettel and Alonso.
There was
team.
rumours that maybe they might chuck in Vettel for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Stop it. Sexy.
He'd probably have a beard, long
Let's
hair.
have a chat to him soon. Can we have a chat with
Yeah.
Vettel?
Yeah.
I want to get his take on this.
He'd probably look like Tom Hanks from Castaway right now.
Definitely would,
He's
wouldn't
probably
he?
let his
Very
hair
tanned.
grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's definitely on the beach,
Yeah, he's
tanning
on
his
the beach.
arschlock.
Yeah.
Haas, the Haas Holes Pro, they've got an experienced duo now.
Yes.
Gunter, you'll have, Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. They've battled on track, but they seem to be getting along really well in team and having in-team battles. Even
Well, so far.
so far.
It's early days, Luke. We haven't started the season.
Hulkenberg said that he was happy to have Magnussen, and Magnussen was happy to have him, and he goes, "Suck my balls."
Is that what he said?
Yeah, because that's what he said to him.
That's
in
the
that
running gag.
Yeah, it's a running gag. So
And you would gag on it as well if you had to suck his
he's
balls.
got big balls.
Big Danish knackers.
The
Big
Danish are known for two things: butter cookies and big balls.
And chips with mayonnaise.
Smoked bacon.
But that's got to do with the big balls as
And
well. the mayo.
pornography.
Big pornography. Country, they love it.
Cons, they will suck my balls and honey. Hulk, be able to keep it friendly. When you're in a team and you've got Gunther who's not going to take any shit, I think you might have an easy driver pairing there.
Yes.
AlphaTauri, shit year last year, absolute dog shit.
Rubbish.
Nick De Vries will be a good, consistent driver, and I think he's more motivated than what Gasly was. Gasly'd been there for a while, and he was kind of over it. He didn't have a great year, Gasly, in terms of consistency. Yuki has to step up as well. Cons, they were shit last year. I don't know. Apparently, there's people saying that they walk around a little bit confident.
Yes.
But I don't buy it.
No.
Williams, last team, pros, nice colours. He's getting on board with hand jobs for the homeless on the back of the car.
So.
Vols, who was the, I think he was one of the engineers at Mercedes, he's there now as the boss. He needs to appoint a tech director, which they don't have. So they don't have a tech director, which I don't really know how you can design a car or make a car without a tech director. And a rookie who's just managed enough super points. That's what I consider the cons. Williams.
The cons of Williams. Time for a, Luke, just very quickly, a lockdown back sell. What a wonderful podcast this has been so far.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, proudly, a mouth-watering podcast. Mouth-watering. Proudly brought to you by, we haven't mentioned so far, F1 Podcast Charity. Hand jobs for the homeless, Luke. Because why wouldn't people that are homeless, they shouldn't suffer. They should be able to release themselves once in a while. And some breaking news just coming off the back of Williams just sparked my my memory bank. Great news, Luke. We can release to the public for the very first time that not only is F1 Podcast the official charity of the Catholic Church. Thank you very much to the Pope. And in a small part, me on top of the mountain, vow of silence, and, you know, broadcasting my charity to the Catholic peoples.
Through telepathy?
Telepathy, mostly.
Just out into the world?
Well, I couldn't talk, could I? I couldn't say anything.
This is like The Secret. If you just think it, it'll happen.
Well, I had to show them. I said, loosen the trouser. This is what I was thinking in a telepathic way. And I just pulled the pants down, just gently grabbed the little guy. And they understood. And then that person, it's like spreading a message. Then that person does it to the next. That's how religion spreads. You know, one person says to the other person. Then they say that to that person. I think
a few of the priests may have gotten the wrong idea and may have been, you know, a little bit lower on the grasp. But
yeah, great news though. Now, Hand Jobs for the Homeless is the official sponsor of the Formula One team, Luke. You did just... Round of applause. You just touched on it very briefly because they didn't have any advertising, obviously. There's been no interest with sponsorship. No one's wanted to put any money or any logos on Williams. But what you will see is Hand Jobs for the Homeless emblem, which you have got, you've designed beautifully, and that's going to go smack bang on the side of the Williams. Absolutely. You'll probably see it, you'll see it definitely in Bahrain.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
Bahrain's
obvious.
Behind it.
That's the only thing you'll see on the Williams is the Hand Jobs for the Homeless emblem logo on the side of the car.
Yeah.
Didn't cost us much to put it on there.
No.
What did it cost us? Can't even remember.
Hand job.
Perfect. That's
just went up to him like,
this is for charity and also for the car.
Yeah.
There we go. So anyway, I thought that was great news.
It's great news for the
your logo is spot on. It's exactly everything that charity encapsulates.
Yeah, I had a great vision. I'm like, you know what? This is what a homeless penis would look like.
Yes.
And a fist, nice clean fist from one of our
charity workers.
Great volunteers.
Wonderful. So many volunteers. Father John, Father Gary, Father Dave, They love it. They're very keen.
Father Bob, Father Jack, Father Ted.
Father Ted. Very keen to help out with hand jobs for the homeless. Wonderful charity. So that is good news. So anyway, thank you for that.
Great.
Williams, for jumping on board. And congratulations to you, Luke, for designing such a beautiful logo for such a worthwhile charity.
Yeah, hand jobs for the homeless, refugees, whatever you want to call it. Get down to your local homeless shelter and lend a hand.
I mean, there's a lot of really worthy charities out there.
UNICEF.
Brain cancer, leukemia, kids with cancer.
Is that for or against cancer? I don't know what some of these...
Sure. Who knows?
Are they raising money for...
I'm not sure. But right up there with those charities, hand jobs to the homeless.
Now, F1.com had some questions. We're going to answer them. So the questions are... Can anyone beat Red Bull?
No. Next question.
How will the new...
Maybe on a good day, Ferrari, if someone runs into a Red Bull, maybe.
Maybe some unreliability. But they did a lot of laps.
I would love to see the two Red Bulls run into each other and two Ferraris and Alonso just steam up down the side.
You just need someone to be a bit of a team player. If there's a Formula 1 driver watching this, and I know a lot of them do, if you want to... you see them going into turn one, Red Bulls are 1 and 2. If you just tap one, it'll go into the other. Therefore, hey, guess what? Everything's just opened up for us.
Perfect.
So you might cop a penalty, 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
But think of the entertainment value.
Yeah, think about it for the fans. Do it for us.
This is what you would do when you are head of Netflix and you're calling the shots on the production. You'll have the power to be able to do this.
I'm just going to press the button that just lifts the brake pedal, of Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz. Just lift it up and bang, straight in them. There you go, done.
Perfect.
See, Carlos Sainz tried to do it. Sorry, it was George Russell. He tried to do it when he was in Austin. He just went straight to the back of Carlos. I'm like, he didn't deserve that. You should have done it to Red Bull. But
we need Kvyat in the grid. He knows how to stir up a Formula 1 Grand Prix, doesn't he?
The Russian. He wasn't the rapist. He was the missile.
He wasn't the rapist. I do miss the Russian rapist, but Kvyat, he loved to stir up a race, didn't he?
He did.
Always made it interesting.
Yeah, poor Sebastian was always on the end of that. But if you was watching Drive to Survive, who's Sebastian? No talk of Nicholas Latifi either.
No.
On Drive to Survive.
Oh, good.
His final season, he'd been in Formula 1 for 3 years.
He had a lot of highlights, didn't he?
There'll be a new Turd Championship.
Ruined the 2021 season.
He did. He fucked that over by crashing the wall.
What a great highlight, though.
Why would you be trying to overtake someone? Why are you trying to catch someone with 10 laps to go in the last race of the year?
And you know that you've got no part to play in the World Championship, nor can you win that race.
You're not getting points.
So why would you stand in the way of a great race?
You bend it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not for slagging him off or death threats. That's horrible. He's a sportsman. He's just a shit sportsman.
Right.
You just say,
know when to push,
shit.
know when to sit back and just let
when to hold
the adults know when to fold them. He needs to fold them all the time.
Yeah.
Latifi should be just folding every hand.
I think that's his new job. He's now folding sheets in his palatial grounds.
And then he's at the casino folding cards as a croupier.
A croupier?
Yes, a croupier.
Very nice. The next question is, how will the new faces fare? So you got Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries, Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to go?
I'd like to think that Piastri's going to knock it out of the park, but he's in just a rubbish car. I think Nick De Vries will be the standout, only because of the fact that he's in a better car. Yeah,
I think Oscar will, and when it comes to Melbourne, that's when he'll hit his straps. I think he'll get he'll just be sent in the car out, and then he'll be able to take a step forward.
I know that no one thinks this is going to happen, but I would love for him to beat Lando at the end of the season on points and performances.
I think he will.
Oh, I'd love that to happen.
Just, I know it's patriotism, but I do. His talent, his dedication, his focus on the job.
Yes.
He's not an easily distracted boy.
Yep.
You could get a set of tits in front of him.
Yes.
He won't even know they're there.
Doesn't even know.
He's so focused.
No. The last set of tits he saw was his parents, his mothers.
Yeah. And fathers.
And his father's very large breasts.
He breastfed from his dad for years. Most people don't know that.
No, breeding pouch.
The next question is, who will drive for Aston Martin
Next year?
This year. Will it be Dragovic or will it be Sebastian or will it be Stroll. They just said it was Stroll, but I still think it's going to be Drugovich.
Oh, I think it's going to be, drug the bitch.
Drug the bitch.
I can't imagine it's going to be Stroll.
His name's Felipe.
Felipe.
So you'd probably call him Phil.
Philly.
So you go
Philip.
Phil.
Oh, I like.
Phil.
I
Go
like- Yeah.
Bill.
Oh, drug the bitch is good.
Bill Cosby Drugovich.
I like that. Yes, Rohypnol.
Roofie Drugovich.
Roofie.
The next question is midfield. Who's going to be in the midfield? Who's gonna? Where's the pecking order?
Midfield.
Will there be a midfield?
Will
there just be a top and a tail?
There might be another. I don't think there's 3 groups anymore. There could be 4.
4?
Yeah. I think there's 2 midfield groups now. Well, I'm just guessing. We don't really know. But from testing, I think there could be, rather than 1 midfield group, there's actually going to be 2 in there.
So you're saying it'll be Red Bull?
Red Bull, Ferrari,
Red Bull's in his own group?
Mercedes. Yeah, that's one group. There's
One
Red
group.
Bull.
His Red Bull group.
Just Red Bull.
Then the next group?
Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin.
Next group?
Alpine.
McLaren.
No.
Aston
Alpine.
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Tauri.
Alfa Tauri.
Who's in the bottom?
Williams. McLaren.
McLaren dead last.
What a fuck up they are
Crofty,
this year.
you heard it here first.
All right, Crofty. Hey, shopping bag challenge.
Back to the GP2.
Steal that one next, you
engine,
douchebag.
Motherfucker. And how good will the racing be?
Brilliant. How good will it be?
Brilliant.
Well,
I think it'll be good.
Too much max, I feel.
But it'll be racing. There'll still be racing.
I know.
There'll still be going on. And the battles that he had with Leclerc last year were very good battles.
There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. So now we come to a driver profile. Every pre-Grand Prix, this is brand new.
Yes.
We're going to come to... so this one you told me to go from the top of the championship and work your way down.
I think so. Makes sense.
So we're going to start with Max Verstappen.
Yep.
Mad Max Verstappen, what we call him
The
on
dirty
this podcast.
Dutchman.
The dirty
douchebag.
The bastard Belgian.
The bastard Belgium douchebag.
We know he's from Belgium.
We know he's
He
from
was
Belgium.
born there. He went to school there.
Yeah, nice
His
try.
mum's Belgian.
Yeah.
But he goes, I feel more Dutch.
Of
Well, I
course you
feel
do.
I feel,
Of course
you
you
know,
do.
South African.
Yeah.
But you don't see me saying I'm South African.
No. No, you don't. Do you feel South African?
No, not really.
Not really.
More Norwegian.
No.
Anyway.
I like to feel an Argentinian or a Brazilian, but doesn't mean to say that I relate to myself as that.
No. You do have a
Yeah.
Brazilian, and you wear a thong a lot.
Well, yes. Sebastian's been a great influence on me. Very positive.
So Mad Max Verstappen, son of Jos the Boss Verstappen. Maybe we could change his name from Mad Max. Because Jos the boss, so maybe Max the Tampax.
I love it. I just wish that I'd give them both a bigger headbutt before I got suspended
Could
for
you
a
do
year.
it 2 in 1?
Like this.
Just
Like that.
grab them both.
Both of it.
Doom.
Doom.
In.
Take that. And then run away.
Yeah. I like it.
Anyway.
He's Libran, like Mrs. Luke. So mum.
Yes.
Shout out to Mum.
Oh, Mrs. Luke. We have not spoken about your mother for a while. How is she?
She's frail. She's frail.
Frail.
She's struggling.
Yep.
She had an endoscopy the other day.
Good. How was
First
that?
thing that's been inside her for a while, so she's happy about that.
Nice.
Mad Max Verstappen, he's 5'11" and 72 kilos. His favourite meal is soup.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Borscht. Or some sort of boring, dull
And
soup like
beef
that.
carpaccio.
Yeah.
Boring.
I think he's just said that to be interesting. But
It's
we can
soup.
see right through it. We can see
Right,
right through
soup. He went to school at St. Ursula School in Belgium.
Yep.
He started karting at age 4 and his first race was at age 6. He took his first karting championship in 2005 and he won 21 races of that season. All 21 races
Wow.
at the age... when 2005, whenever the fuck he was
Wow.
age there. He won the Belgian championship then. Max Verstappen, again, the Belgian... Not the Dutch championship, the Belgian. So
The Belgian.
he's not fucking...
He's not Dutch. Give me a
Belgian.
break.
He just wants to wear orange. Max Verstappen won 23 karting championships between 2005 and 2013.
Whoa.
I don't know how you can win 23 championships. Maybe it's just like a one-race
One
championship.
race the championship, yeah.
That's pathetic. That
Doesn't
sounds
seem-
like 2020 and the
Yes.
championship that Lewis Hamilton won with a dozen Grand Prix. At the age of just 16, Max broke a record by scoring 6 consecutive wins and 10 victories during the season of the F3 Championship. He finished third overall, so he didn't even win the championship.
No.
But he broke a record and then didn't win the championship. So, sucks to be you, Max.
Yeah.
Be better.
Yeah, not impressed.
What else
Not
we got from
impressed.
Max before we wrap him up? Max Verstappen has been beaten twice by a teammate. Both those times were...
Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger.
He lost out by 52 points in 2016 and 32 points in 2017. Max hasn't been beat by a teammate since that season. He gets paid $50 to $55 million per year, similar to Lewis the Douche Canoe Hamilton. He's the fourth youngest F1 world champion behind Sebastian Hamilton and Alonso.
Yeah.
Max is currently the youngest driver to score points, win a race, finish on the podium, lead a lap, set the fast lap, and get a grand slam.
Did Max win 3 world championships before heading into Formula One? No.
No.
Did Max have to sit a year out before entering Formula One?
No.
No. Okay, that's good to know. Do you think the name...
Did he win in F2?
Verstappen
He didn't even
helped.
race in F2.
Didn't even race in F2.
He skipped the queue.
That's fine. Your name's... What was your name, sorry? Verstappen? Yeah. You're straight through.
Straight through.
Formula One? Yeah, Red Bull, actually. Well, you just tee up the Red Bull. Don't have to sit on the sidelines. Don't have to drive a shit car.
You raced
just go straight there.
5 races for Taurus, and then he jumped in. And then he stole the race from Daniel in the Spanish Grand Prix.
Yep.
Daniel had it by a mile. They pitted.
Azerbaijan.
They pitted
There's
him
another
first.
one.
There's another fucking...
Hey,
crash
ran
together.
right in the back of him.
So, yeah, that's Max Verstappen. That's his driver profile. We've got 4 new drivers.
Yes.
3 technically, but we're going to chuck in Felipe. Nicknames for new drivers. I've got Nick De Vries. What are we going? We've got Quick Nick,
Quick Nick, yep.
the only Dutchman,
Yes.
and the
The only Dutchman. That's
E-champion.
good.
He
E-champion?
won Formula E.
Yeah. Deep freeze.
Which one? Deep freeze?
Oh,
Deep fries?
I like that.
Deep fries?
Deep fries.
There we go. Deep fries. Nick Deep fries.
Nick Deep Fries. I like it.
Logan Sargent.
Oh, gosh.
At ease.
At ease?
At ease, Sargent.
Bogan Sargent.
Bogan Sargent.
Nice.
Logan
The
Bogan.
new Latifi.
The new Latifi.
Yeah, lock that in.
The new Latifi.
He hasn't
locked
even
in.
done anything stupid yet, but let's lock in.
Felipe Drugovich, Bill Cosby
Yeah.
Drugovich, Drugger Snitch, and GP2 veteran. He was in GP2 for a while before he won that championship.
Does that count if you're in there for 10 years? Does it matter? I don't think it really counts. You haven't won it if you've been there for 10
Nearly
years.
there as long as Roy Nissani.
He's like 45 now. He's a rookie. He's 45.
He's on the pension. He's on the driver pension. Then we've got Oscar Piastri.
Yes.
So which one we go? So Felipe Drugovich. We're going to go with Drugovich.
Yeah, I think so. Drugovich. It just rolls off the tongue easy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oscar Piastri.
Um,
And the winner is? Because he's Oscar.
Loyalty, Otmar's Needle, the stolen one, Melbourne Kid, and the winner is the stolen one.
The stolen one.
Yeah, it's like a kid that's had his childhood taken away from him, isn't he?
Wasted a year.
Wasted a
and he was
year.
stolen
Yeah,
from Alpine.
yep,
When technically they didn't have him.
yeah, like abusive parents locking him in a room for a year.
You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, no,
So the stolen one?
stolen one,
The stolen one it is.
stolen generation,
Stolen. Jesus
stolen
Christ.
generation.
There'll be blackfacing in Melbourne.
Yeah. A year is like a generation to a dog.
To a dog.
That's a generation.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So the next race, finally, the first race of the year.
Oh, here we go. First race of the year. I'm excited.
Bahrain, we've listed here 3 days. Now we have a race. So Bahrain, the Bahrain International Circuit, there is a whole bunch of corners. It's a beautiful racetrack, one of the finest racetracks of the calendar. Now we have, what is it? How many corners is it? 19? How many?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 corners.
15 corners?
Well off. They've got 3 DRS zones.
Oh, that's good.
3.
Three's
They
good.
could have 4.
See, just chuck another one in there. The more the better.
I would.
Just we love overtaking. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the rest of the stats for this
Okay.
Grand Prix. Anyway, we've got the tyre talk.
Yes.
Very interesting. So the C0 is effectively the C1 from last year.
Yep.
But they've made a compound between last year's C1 and C2, and they've made that the C1.
Right.
So the C1's gone to 0.
Yes.
And they've just put a little gap. So that's what's happened
Got you.
for this time. The race times for this year, if you're looking, let's have a squidgery-do.
Where are we popular for our downloads, Luke? What regions of the globe would we be? Let's just refer to the time schedule of the race to a popular spot to download this podcast.
So a lot of the interesting places, Auckland.
We've got a big fellowship in
New Zealand.
Really?
Kia ora.
That's fantastic.
That's
The
how
Kiwis like
that's how
us.
they say hello in Maori.
Oh, that's great.
Kia ora. So their race we have 4 a.m. Nerang is at 1 a.m. Melbourne 2 a.m.
That hurts. 1 a.m.
Adelaide 1:30. Perth 11 p.m. Tokyo midnight. Then we've got Kathmandu at 10:45. Then we have, what do we got over here?
Kathmandu. What a great spot.
It is.
In Nepal. Beautiful.
Istanbul 6 p.m. Jerusalem 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Warsaw 4 p.m.
Wow.
London 3 p.m. Then we go to Buenos Aires 12 p.m. So they're at noon. Nice time to watch.
That's a great idea.
the Grand
That's
Prix race.
be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Get down from the favelas, go into
Yeah.
Buenos Aires. Oh, it's Brazil. I was thinking Argentina. Buenos Aires.
There's less crime.
Less
Argentina.
crime.
You get
There's a bit. Just
probably,
less.
Probably just slightly less.
Less.
Yeah.
Especially if you're white and you speak English. If you're a gringo
Oh yeah.
and you're fucked.
No. You need a blackface when you get in the favelas.
You got to
You-
speak Spanish.
Yeah,
If you don't speak Spanish,
if you don't speak,
it's not going to be a good time. ¿Qué pasa? New York, 10 a.m. North Dakota, 9 a.m. Edmonton, 8 a.m.
Oh,
Los Angeles, 7 a.m. And
Yep.
Honolulu,
very nice.
5 a.m. Yeah, it's
Well, there you go.
a great time. We're going to scroll down. Now we're going to watch Luke's lap.
Okay. What have you done? You've done a Luke's lap
I've done a Luke's lap. I've recorded it, and I'm going
in
to
the
get you
simulator.
in the sim.
Oh yeah, good.
It's how I do things.
The F1 podcast simulator.
Great time to be alive. We get to watch this lap, and you can just.
We're going to watch it now.
We're going to watch it. And we're going to talk
good
about
stuff.
it. Here we
Look
go.
at you. Look at you go. There you are. Sound effects. Hear that? Wow. Eighth gear. Down. It's going right down to 2.
Down a second.
Great
Going into the
podcasting.
left-hand side. Going up to turn 3. This is where there's a good battle. That's where Grosjean crashed.
Yes.
Going up here. I'm in the F1 podcast simulator.
Yep.
Up in the top left-hand corner.
Look at that.
Good racing line.
Very nice.
This one I was a little bit dodgy on. Got it in there. Stuck it in. Hit too much curb on the left-hand side. Going down. This didn't get a lot of grip there. This is a very difficult part. The double left-handed braking down into the back straight. This will be overlaid over the top of us. Good corner. Good out. Press the DRS. Open the DRS. Nice and wide open.
Wow.
Good corner there.
Great corner.
Very difficult to get used to this view.
Yes,
So I put it on there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Watching a lot of onboard laps from Bahrain, I kind of knew where everything I needed to go, which corner left and right. Coming up to the last corner, the penultimate corner, braking late, get a bit of turn in, bit of shake, bit of shock back, too much curb, flip the DRS, there it is, and the lap is finished.
Wow. Just proving.
1 minute 29.
1 minute 29.
That's quicker than Red Bull did.
That's quick.
They did a 1 minute 30 in testing.
That's
I did a
amazing.
1 minute 29.
Which, I mean, proves what we've already known for a long, long time. You are the greatest Formula One driver this country's ever produced that never got a chance to show it in a Formula One car.
That's
Luke,
right.
An absolute dishonour.
And right now I decided to do some
Burnouts.
did some donuts.
Celebratory donuts in the simulator. Did you smell the rubber?
Oh yeah, that was
The
because I
simulated
didn't
rubber?
lube up
Yeah.
when I got in there. So that is Luke's lap.
Look at you doing donuts in a simulator. I love it, Luke. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Good lap.
Good time.
Whew, you got up a sweat, didn't you?
Yeah,
You built up a sweat during that lap.
go fuck about.
Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah,
Good job.
thank you very much.
Predictions for the race and the season. Can we do a bit of head-to-head teammate action?
Of course we can.
Can we do that? Because
Yeah.
I want to get your take. Can we do it for the Formula One, the F1 podcast listeners as well? Can we do, rather than tipping, because I lose interest, Luke, you know me.
Yeah.
I've got a short attention span.
Yeah.
Can we just do it right now?
Mm-hmm.
All the listeners,
Yep.
put in your suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
teammates. Who's going to beat whom in the teammate? And then come the end of the season, we'll come back and go, who was the winner of the head-to-head teammate competition?
Yeah. Good idea.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it right now.
Let's do it right now.
Who's going to be the champion?
You can do it at home, right? Get a piece of paper. We trust you.
Yeah.
This is the trust method. Get a piece of paper, pen, write it in, keep it somewhere safe. At the end of the season, bring it out.
And we do
trust
have
you.
the tipping competition.
We do have the tipping competition
So
as well.
you go to our Instagram link
Yes.
tree, or if you go to the pinned tweet on our Twitter, you'll find the race and the qualifying tips. So pop them in. Make sure you do that.
Yes.
And you might be able to beat me. You might be able to beat Jim.
He's very good.
He had a good
Jimmy
year
boy.
last year.
Very good.
The champ. So who's going to be the champion this year?
Champion Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen.
To lay down Mazaire.
I'm going to say Fernando Alonso. Best car,
Red Bull by a long shot.
Red Bull. I'm going to say Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Best race,
Jeddah.
Jeddah. Oh, they've
Always
moved
throws
some
up
corners back there.
Throws up a beauty every year.
I'm going to say Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
So tips.
Yes.
So we're going to go drivers. Who's going to come out on top?
This is against the teammates.
Yep, head to
okay,
head.
head to head. Here we go.
So we're going to go Max, Perez, Max.
Okay, you're going Max, I'm going Max. You do it at home now?
Ferrari.
What are you going at home? Good.
Yep. Write it down.
Write it down.
Don't fuck
Somewhere
about.
safe. We trust you. We'll use the trust method. Come back to it later.
If I see that fresh ink at the end of the year.
No, you know what? We won't trust. Put it on the socials. Put it on the socials.
Yeah.
Put your tips down.
Let us know.
Let us know before the beginning of this race.
I want a photo of that handwritten note.
Yes.
And I want it next to a piece of newspaper
Yes.
that has the day's date on it,
Well,
like some kind of
Correct.
hostage situation.
while wearing the charity shirts, hand jobs for the homeless. Which you can pick up.
HJH.
HJH, which you can pick up on our socials.
Yep.
Very popular.
Then we've got, so we're going to go Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Charles.
Okay. I had a thought. No, I mean, no, yes. No, okay, that's fine. No, I'm going to say Carlos.
Hey!
I'm going to go crazy. Carlos Sainz.
Welcome to the mind of Adam Ifland.
Yep.
Mercedes.
George Russell.
I think Lewis will get him this year.
George Russell.
I'm a big fan of George Russell, and I tipped George Russell last year, and he came through with it.
I
But
just
still
don't have.
lose-
I don't have the faith that if they don't have a gun car, that Hamilton's going to be invested into it. I know that he can drop off if he doesn't think he's got the great car, where George is just he's got everything to play for.
Yes, it's funny. As the car came good, so did Lewis.
Right. And I don't think that
Where
car's going
George
to be any
drove around
good.
it. But George was the only race winner for them last year.
George, for me.
George, I'm going to
Lock
say
it in.
Lewis. I don't like to say that, but I just think
Yeah, no,
it's
fair
going to be
enough.
Lewis.
Fair enough.
Alpine.
That's a tough one. I mean, firstly, I don't really care.
Neither does anyone else.
Oh. Gasly.
Tie. A tie on points.
No.
Yep.
Get out.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
McLaren.
Oh, Jesus. I want to say Piastri, but I'm just going to have to say Norris.
I'm going to say Piastri.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Going
Alfa
on a limb.
Romeo. Bottas and Zhou.
Bottas.
Aston Martin.
Fernando.
Haas.
Hulkenberg.
He'll get a podium this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, you going for Hulkenberg? That's what. Okay.
I rate Magnussen.
You do. You always
I
have.
do.
You always have.
And I think it'll be like 1 point to Hulkenberg.
Yeah, it'll be very close.
It'll be
They're
close.
very closely matched.
AlphaTauri.
Ooh.
Sonoda or deep fries.
Deep fries.
Deep fries, I think deep fries.
Really? Okay.
I think this will be Sonoda's last year.
Good.
Williams, Albon and Logan Sargent.
Alexander Albon.
Albon, I believe, also.
So lock it in. Lock them in.
Yep.
Put them on the socials. Proof. We want proof, please.
Proof. I have a rant, but we're going to talk to
Good.
Sebastian.
Really?
Yep.
We have Sebastian on the
Got
line?
Sebastian again, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Just load him up.
Let's load him up.
Hi, guys. Can you see me? Hello?
Hi, Sebastian.
Hi, guys. Oh, gosh.
Wow, so excited. So excited. Just crazy. I'm on the beach doing the body stuff with the log, with the oils and stuff on the beach with the guys. Just hanging out, just being just tough guys. Working out with the vets.
You look tan.
I've been working out. Hey, I've got a little secret for you. Don't tell anybody
Really?
else.
What's the secret?
Yeah, okay. So there's a good chance that I could be coming back for a Formula One race at some stage. I have been, let me just say.
You heard it here first, people.
I have been asked to jump back in the seat again.
Which seat?
Only if I got the one with a vibrating chair. Oh, God.
Which seat? Which team?
Well, I actually said no. I told the team, no, I can't do it because I like the little stroll so much. I said, I can't do the little stroll. Daddy would be devastated. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to come back. If it was Alonso, yeah, I would take the seat. No problems. But I'm not going to do for stroll. I like him too much.
Okay, fair enough.
So I said no. Crazy, huh?
Did you watch any of the Drive to Survive? Were you disappointed that you weren't in it?
I didn't watch it. I couldn't be bothered. I was on the beach with the boys playing the volleyball and watching Top Gun and doing the high fives.
High fives?
And the oiling and
Which country are you in?
I'm in Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah, I love Brazil down here with the boys. It's at the beach. Sorry. So confusing.
Have kids?
Which one?
Are they with you?
I did not. I've never touched the kids. What are you talking about? I always make sure the boys are in the 15 or more? What?
18.
What did you say? My boys?
How are your kids?
Oh, so sorry, look. It's so awkward. Yeah, great. Little Shumi, little Damricado, little Lonzo.
Oh, good. You remember their names.
And
nice.
Heidi's just great. She's just such a great mother.
Is she getting back onto the LBG?
Yeah, she's doing the scissoring. She's a crazy scissor sister. She loves the
GPA tour?
Loves the minge. My wife, Heidi.
LGBTQ.
LGBTQ, PSRMNOQ, LMNOP,
Plus.
So she loves.
Sounds like a drink. LGBTQ plus.
It's delicious. You should see them go at it. When the two ladies are doing the scissors, it's hilarious.
It smells so like bin juice.
It's not a good smell, look, I tell you. When the ladies have the rubbing of the vagine onto each other, it can't be unpleasant.
I want to know your predictions, Sebastian.
So vagines scare me sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes they get a bit scary. Okay? Sorry, what?
Some of them are very low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. I'm never going to touch another one ever. Just telling you now. Sorry, what were you saying?
Predictions for the year.
I predict that you are going to have a really great time when you come and visit me in my bungalow in Brazil. Come down here, look. The daiquiris are super.
All right, Sebastian, thank you very much.
I love you guys. Take care, yeah? Bye-bye. That's Sebastian Vettel. Never wants to talk about... Four-time world champion. Never wants to talk about Formula One.
No, he's retired now.
He's just...
He didn't want to talk about when he was.
He's just daiquiris and arse bleach. That's what his life is
Just
now.
don't get them mixed up. My arsehole's drunk.
Well, that's hair.
I've got a rant.
Lock it in. Can you get ready?
All right.
Can you get angry?
I can get angry. Listen, I don't like the bit of the virtue signaling that goes on in the world, and they say, oh, we're all for this, we're all for this, we're all for equality, let's do this, let's do that. They want women in Formula One. They want a woman driver. Now, the best Formula One potential driver is Jamie Chadwick. She's a 3-time W Series champion. She is the bee's knees, the dog's bollocks, the smoothest vagina in the paddock. Now, why on earth is she now in America driving in the Indy NTX series? Why is she not like Lewis Hamilton, Formula One? You're all saying about we want to get women in the sport, we want to get women drivers, we want to promote it.
Yep.
Now she had an opportunity to go to F2, but she wasn't happy with this was the previous year.
Right.
She wasn't happy with the team that she would have been lined up with. It wasn't going to be a top F2 team. It was going to be one of the lower teams.
Right.
And she's like, I want a proper seat in F2.
Yes.
Why couldn't they this year? Why couldn't they give her a good seat?
Right.
Put your money where your mouth is. Stop talking about we want a Formula One driver.
Lip
we want a
service.
female driver. Stop talking about it. Stop putting money into shit.
Do it.
Let's put money into little universities and fucking surveys, and let's talk about how to... No, you have one woman who is a phenomenal fast driver, Jamie Chadwick, 3-time W Series champion. I'm going to keep fucking repeating it because She deserves a spot. You've got a young driver test, which happened at the end of last season. You could have put her in for a day.
Didn't do it.
No doubt you're using her in the simulator, or Williams had used her in the simulator. That's all fine. But put her in a car. If she doesn't cut in the simulator, put her in the car and then just let it rest. Put a Formula One driver, have a female, make it a massive thing and make it happen. Jamie Chadwick deserves better than going to America in a junior formula. Like, I think it might be the step down under IndyCar. And they're a much more physical car. Formula One cars aren't a physical car.
Right.
F2 is a physical car because there's no power steering. It's a difficult car to drive.
Right.
But coming to F1, they've got power steering. You can have it light or as hard as you want.
Right.
She could physically drive these cars.
Yes.
Give her a chance, give her an opportunity, see what she can do, but they don't do it. Stop talking about, we're going to do this.
Talking about it.
We're going to do it.
Just do it.
That's it. Stop your yapping and start fucking paying money for good female drivers to get into a good sport.
That is quite possibly the best Luke's rant I've experienced.
Jamie Chadwick, you deserve better.
You deserve better. And could not agree more. And put your bloody money where your mouth is. You know, start backing up your words.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
As we wrap up this little
Great time to
Aussie
like a battlers of a podcast.
We're going to talk just quickly before we wrap. Good luck to the Aussies in F3 and F2. We've got two rookies in F3, Tommy Smith and Hugh Barter.
Are they good? I've not heard.
They're rookies.
Okay.
So we'll see how they go.
What's their background? What's their...
No idea.
No idea. We don't know.
I saw them come up in F3. I'm like, oh, we got some rookies in there.
Great.
And we also have Sebastian Montoya, son of Juan Pablo.
Get out.
He is in
there.
his debut in F3.
Expect him to do the old Verstappen straight into F1.
Straight away.
Yeah,
and then of course you got Jack Doohan in F2. So we touched on him a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If his last name was Verstappen, if Doohan's name was Verstappen, he'd be in Formula One already.
Good luck to Tommy. Good luck to Hugh.
Fantastic. Good luck to you, Luke.
Yeah, and good luck to you, Adam.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. Love the Luke's rant, and it's just been a pleasure.
Always.
Can't wait to see the first race.
I'm excited. Not excited for the 1 a.m.
No, but what's your tip for this race?
Or
Who's going to win it?
I think Max will win it.
I'd love to see Alonso win
and Alonso will be on the podium.
That'd be fantastic. All right. Meet you back here?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now. Cheers, cunts.